Our next speaker is Jean Marie E. Giovanni. She is a certified professional proactive coach, an international speaker, president and founder of Workshop University, a certified executive coach, and co-author of Success is a State of Mind, alongside Mark Victor Hansen, Les Brown, and Deepak Chopra. She was named a top 10 coach of Boston by Women's Business Boston. Jean has spoken to 20 chapters of the National Speakers Association of the USA and Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Jean Marie E.G. Giovanni.
This is what drives my business every single day. In fact, this seed was planted in my first corporate job out of college. And I was with a startup, a high-tech startup in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right next to MIT. And we were 90 people at the time. We had all-staff meetings once a month, and we just gathered in the lobby. And I'll never forget this one month where the CEO stood up on the top of the stairwell, and he said to all of us, because we were basically IT consultants at the time and management consultants, and he said, when you walk into a company, you are a dollar sign. That's how they see you. Because we were expensive to hire. And he said, what that means is this. Every single thing you do, every meeting you attend, every phone call you have, every email you write has to have value. And if it doesn't have value, or you're not sure why you're doing it, then stop doing it and figure out what needs to be done. So how many of you, in your heart of hearts, know that when you get in front of an audience, you make a huge impact to them? How many of you know that? Wonderful. So how do you know? Is it the feedback forms that you get? Right? Testimonies? Yeah, it could be the testimonies, what people are saying about you. Could be the books that you sell, right? Or the number of people that come up to you afterwards and they're waiting in line to talk to you. Here's what I assert, though. It's beyond that, right? The measure of success of your talks, your workshops, your training courses, your e-learning is actually beyond that. And what I want to share with you is 3 parts of an equation that what I call create a high impact for your audience, makes a difference. And these are the 3 components: experience, value, and action. Experience. Are you creating an experience for your attendees? Some kind of emotional experience? Are they doing something? Are they actually doing something for themselves? Meaning interactivity, engagement. The next is value. Is your information relevant and immediately applicable? Right? Meaning your attendees could take that information and do something with it tomorrow. And the last part of the equation, I believe, is the most important. The measure of success of any program that you deliver is not just what the attendees learn when they're with you. Right? That's important. But the measure of success is, what are they going to do when they leave? What new action are they going to take on? What are they going to do differently in their work or their life? So this last piece is what I call a call to action. Now, my business consists of, I would say that prominent part of my business, I do corporate training. So I'm going into companies, I'm delivering typically 1-day and 2-day courses. Now I also am a speaker. And so what's happened is, as a result of delivering these trainings and also starting out as a public seminar speaker and trainer, a lot of colleagues started asking me, well, wow, this workshop was great. Can you teach me how to do my own workshops? And so I kind of started enlarging that part of the business as well. So I speak in front of entrepreneurs. Every single course that you see me deliver and talk, with the exception of probably a keynote maybe, no, actually, nix that. I always have someone leave in that audience, every single person, with an action. What's one thing you're willing to take on? And I'll give you a little tip. When you have people write down actions, I always phrase it as this. What's one thing you're willing to take on? And notice I use the word willing. And then as they're starting to write the action, here's what I say. If you already know what you're writing down you won't do, then stop, put your pen down, and write down something you will do. Right? Because this is what, I mean, how many seminars have you attended where you came up with all these actions? And then what percentage of those actions do you actually accomplish? So for me, I would rather have someone take one small action as a result of hearing me speak than to commit to doing 5 or 6 and not do any. So I always encourage people, small action, tiny action, something you can do in one sitting. Because then once they finish that, they're more likely to do the second one, right? So this is what I call the equation for high impact. This can be applicable, it's a long day, applicable for a keynote, training course, workshop, and especially e-learning. And I'm happy to, I'm not sure if I'll have time in this talk to talk about e-learning, but let's just say I spent all of last summer, pretty much 90 days, in front of my computer developing e-learning for a client. One of my commitments last year is, actually Scott mentioned this, is one of my commitments, was I wanted to work less, make more, and bring in more passive income so I could actually do more of the things I enjoy, traveling, right? When you have a product, and I encourage you, each of you have amazing expertise. Your blog posts are products. Those can be compiled into e-learning courses, any kind of product. And I literally spend day in and day out, and I pre-sell all my programs, by the way. It's not for everybody. You have to have kind of a thick skin. But I literally, for any product I sell or new program, I will create the marketing. But it's not just out of nowhere, right? It's from being clear, like, this is what I know I'm going to do. I know I can do it. I may not have all the answers to figure it out. But here's what I know. As soon as someone buys it, what does it tell me? What does that tell me? Yeah, there's a market for it. Why would I spend any time, energy, money on something before I know there's a need? And I learned this from the same company I mentioned in the story in the beginning. Because our CEO would come back to our company and say, he just got back from Lockheed, actually, and he says to a few of us, we need a methodology. And in 2 days, I was like, what? We didn't have a methodology written down that he could present. What did we do? I literally sat in a room with a colleague of mine and we cranked out the methodology. How do we design systems today? But here's the thing, it kind of ticked me off that he told the client he would give it to them. But here's what I realized, he had complete trust in us that we could do it. So if you're going to pre-sell your programs, you want to have complete trust in yourself that whatever you are selling, you can deliver on it. And so that's how I got my first product out in 2011. And I used to, much of my speaking business is for entrepreneurs has been a speak to sell model, meaning I speak for free and then I sell in the back of the room. Sell, make an offer, add value, however you want to see it. I knew that, and this is a great indicator, if you are starting to do the same thing over and over again with your clients, that's a great trigger that says, I've got to create a product. This is a perfect opportunity to create a product. And so I was tired of running the same workshops over and over. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to package all this stuff up to a home study program. So I used the next 3 talks that I had on my calendar to pre-sell this home study program. I gave myself a couple of months. So I said, it was November actually, and I said, early November, I said, by the end of the year, this product will be ready, and I pre-sold it. Now, what do you think got my butt going to create it? That first sale. I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing it. Now, by the way, I didn't finish it by the deadline I said I would. But I cleaned up. I said, hey, I had several modules done. It's an 8, actually, module program with 1 bonus. And I finished it, I think, the 2nd week in January. But I stayed in touch with people. I just let them know what's coming. So I highly encourage you, if you want to test something out, pre-sell it. And then see how it goes. And as soon as that one person buys it, oh boy, you're going to be super motivated to get it done, right? I want to share with you, I'm going to skip this because I want to share with you something. Oh, these should be hidden, actually. I'm not sure why they're... Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on one second. Can you? I want to give you a quick tool that I give out when I speak to NSA chapters. If you're wondering, whatever you're delivering today, it could be a talk, a training, a keynote, doesn't matter. The way you want to look at your business is almost like a funnel. And the top of the funnel is typically your first thing that you deliver. And then there's a portion of people, a subset of those people that will go to the next service offering. Now, how do you actually know what to offer next? So I'm going to give you one simple question that you can answer, and let's actually try it here today. Think of a current talk that you deliver today. A talk, a training course, does not matter. And what I'd like you to do, and you can jot this down or just think of it in your mind, what are some of the key takeaways that you promise your participants will get out of that talk? Okay, and just start thinking about those or jot them down, okay? It's weird to have your slides in back of you, so sorry, I'm just gonna make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, got it. These are basically your learning objectives, right? Here's the game-changing question. If every single person in that audience got what you promised, what's the problem or challenge they're still going to have? So think about that. If you think about your existing talk, just one of them, if they got everything I promised they would get, what's the problem or challenge they're still going to have? If you can then offer a workshop, a follow-on, fill in the blank, that alleviates that challenge, it's going to be much easier for them to say yes. Can you start to see that? So if you're wondering, what can I offer next? Right, because it's a lot of work to keep finding gigs, right? One-offs all the time. It's so beautiful to be able to have repeat business and to go, and some of you may not want to go deeper with your clients, some of you may. Regardless, Even if you don't want to go deep, like deliver a whole leadership development program, there's no reason why you couldn't offer additional topics. But this model, the beauty of this, is you can ask the same game-changing question no matter what level you're at in your funnel. Typically, the funnel goes from highest level of, how do I say it? As you go down the funnel, you're typically going to have more one-on-one interaction. Like the highest level of intimacy happens at the bottom of the funnel. That's your premium services, right? Like your one-on-one coaching or your group coaching program. So can you start to see how you can look at your business in this way? Now, when I work with clients on this, by the way, you can have multiple funnels in your business based on your audience type. Sometimes some speakers will have a funnel for their online funnel and an offline funnel. Do you see that? Where you're going to have a few different things you're going to offer, okay? I don't know what's after this. So, oh yeah, let me take a moment to say this. This is really important. Your keynote is not a shortened workshop, and your workshop isn't an extended keynote. They are two very different things. So I highly encourage you to, if you follow that process I just mentioned, you should actually have a different title for your follow-on workshop. Right? Can you start to see that? Yeah. So I just want to make that distinction. And since I obviously gave an older version for this, some of these aren't hidden. So what I'd like to do is, oh, I guess this is correct. Okay, so I'd love to stay connected. And I'm happy to offer you, I've taken this talk on the road in terms of how to get more business beyond the stage. So what I do outside of my speaking business is a little bit different too, because I do speak at a lot of chapters. So if you guys want this tool, any tips around getting more business beyond the stage, what I'm happy to do, it may be Lloyd, I'm happy to send you this tool that you can forward to your organization. Everyone here, happy to just send that off to you with some templates and just reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.